Hey there, it's Waste Potential 616 back again with another comic review. I wanted to do something a little bit different this time. Basically, I've had the pleasure of watching Justice League, Crisis on Two Earths, and after watching that, I thought I'd dig this out, Justice League, JLA Earth 2, which is what it was loosely based on. It wasn't a straight up adaptation, the cartoon, but it was inspired by this a little bit. Before I get started on this, I just want to say Justice League Crisis on Two Earths is brilliant. It's well worth watching. It's not completely the original story, you know. I mean, obviously it's sort of inspired by that a bit, but you know, it's evil counterparts of superheroes in other universes and stuff. It has been done before, but it's in the execution that this really shines. You know, it's just a really cool, compelling story. You know, good pace. It's really good. You know, DC's animated films, they seem to, I mean, I suppose because of the connection with Warner Brothers, it's just a really high quality to them, and you know, they seem to outshine Marvel's ones actually, quite a lot. But yeah, it's really good. Dwayne McDuffie, he wrote it. He sort of, you know, did Static Shock and some of the Justice League Unlimited stuff. When he did those Milestone comics, I'm not too familiar with those, but that's the guy that did it. Oh, and James Woods does the voice for Owlman, and he is brilliant. And it is just a really sinister, kind of heartless voice, but clinical at the same time. Just really good, a really good vocal performance there. Also, there's a Spectre short, which is great. I mean, it's only about 10 minutes long, but it's really creepy story, and kind of has a nod to modern horror cinema. Like, it's a little nod to The Exorcist, and just stuff like that. It kind of reminds me a lot of Creepshow. It was like one of those Creepshow stories, especially in style. Sort of very similar kind of 80s kind of music. It was just really good. Well worth watching both stories. You know, it's out on DVD, or maybe watch it on the internet, I don't know. But anyway, let's get started on the comic before I want to run out of time. JLA Earth 2, okay. Morrison, Grant Morrison. For a start, I love Grant Morrison on Justice League. I think his run was really good. That's, you know, his initial run was great. You know, he's got the characters down. You know, he can write Superman, he can write Batman, you know, all of them, and their relationship. He does it very well. Basically, the story is Alexander Luthor from the Antimatter universe, which is just an evil universe version of our universe. Comes to the DC universe, or the good one, recruits JLA to help him. They come over and try and sort out his planet, where they encounter evil counterparts. Batman, he is Owlman, Superman, Ultraman, Wonder Woman, Superwoman, and it's just a lot of fun. You can tell Grant Morrison's really enjoying himself in this. It goes I mean, there's a lot of pages here. You know, it's a prestige format. I mean, it's a one shot, but it's basically a trade. You know, even though it wasn't a miniseries. But it moves at a really fast pace. You're not bored at all throughout it, and there's just some really cool moments in this. There's I don't want to spoil it. Okay, it's just a really cool moment where Batman goes to the evil version of Gotham, and there's a whole setup there where Owlman he's like the brother of Bruce Wayne, but his Bruce Wayne died and his mother died and he blames his father for it. There's a nice relationship there, and just how Batman interacts with that, it's great. And there's, as I say, there's some really cool ideas Grant Morrison used in this, and one of them is that only evil can win in this antimatter universe, which becomes very poignant at the end of the story. There's a bit where Batman thinks that he's sorted out Gotham, but he sort of slowly realises that he hasn't and that he can't. Owlman comes to a similar conclusion in our universe, but it's, as I say, it's just some great fun ideas. You know, they're not just straight up evil counterparts. Johnny Quick, the evil Flash, you know, he's like a drug addict. He uses a drug to be superhuman. Superwoman is an evil Lois Lane who has this weird sexual relationship with Jimmy Olsen, but also has this love triangle, this weird twisted love triangle between her, Ultraman, and Owlman. And there's just loads of cool, interesting stuff like that, which, you know, could even be explored in another series and enjoyed, but because it's nicely condensed into this, in the overall story, it just adds to the, you know, the fun, you know, the mad Grant Morrison-ness. But speaking of that, it doesn't go too crazy. As I say, Grant Morrison plays around with a lot of ideas, and towards the end there's a bit of a twist, which is really good, and it's done in an interesting, you know, Grant Morrison-y way, but it doesn't get too weird. It's pretty straightforward and pretty palatable. You know, you don't need to think about it too much. And Frank Quinley's art is brilliant. I mean, these guys work really well together, as seen in Batman and Robin. And it's just, he's great in this, Frank Quinley. You know, cool kind of cinematic style. Reminds me a little bit of his work on the in Authority, which was great as well. So basically, brilliant artwork, brilliant writing. It's a fun story, fun dialogue. It's just fun. As I said before, you can tell Grant Morrison's really enjoying himself. Really interesting ideas. It's well worth picking up. So yeah, if you saw Justice League, Crisis on Two Earths, then pick this up, you'll enjoy it. And they're very different stories. While the initial premise is the same, they're very different stories. So it's well worth reading, and vice versa. If you've read this, go get that DVD, or watch on the internet. But yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. But this is well worth getting. Okay, yeah. Bye guys.